Hi everyone, this is Marjolyn and I have some things to share with you again this week. Where do I start? So we've got Marjolyn's Spirit Art. So let's start with the Marjolyn Insight. As I mentioned last week, Marjolyn's Spirit Art composes of 3 different elements. So the Marjolyn version is just, what lesson did I glean during the week? And today I would like to talk to you about envy. Now, this topic was born by a question that somebody asked me via Facebook Messenger, and I could really connect with the words that this person was sharing with me. So I thought, okay, let's see what I can channel from a higher realm to share with you about what I think envy is and what we can do about it. So to me, envy is a bit like the grass is greener syndrome. Somebody else has got something that you may want or desire and you haven't got it yet. And I think that we were all wired with elements of envy prior to coming into this incarnation. It's one of those life's lessons, I suppose, one of those emotions that, we get to experience, and how do we manage it in this physical? And here comes that A word again. Everything can change with awareness. So, and unless we're consciously aware of the behaviour and the emotion, and we can consciously choose to acknowledge it and then move through it, nothing will change. And I'm sure, like I said, we've all been sprinkled with a bit of envy from now and then. So what I suggest to you is that if you notice that you're having envious thoughts, if you're lamenting about why haven't you got such and such and yet somebody else has, that's just the universe's way of reflecting to you that you're not really truly a match to your desires, because as spiritual beings that we are, we can have anything that we want. And I believe that hopefully in my lifetime on planet Earth we will move to that phase where we can actually have instant manifestations because we are aware of our power. But until such time, if we don't have what we got and we're feeling envious, that will block it. It's like doubt every time. Doubt will stop what you want every time. So just develop awareness. That's all I'm asking you to do. During the course of the week, be mindful of your thoughts. See what self-talk is going on. Stop and acknowledge when you have that awareness or that recognition. Go, oh, hang on, that's not really going to help me get what I want. And just release it at that point in time. But give thanks to your spirit guidance from behind the scenes that you are actually starting to develop that understanding of how all of this works. And if you're watching this video, you are on your way. Only those who are a vibrational match to these words will actually be listening to it. So I think that's kudos to you. So that's what I wanted to share with you this week about envy. Now, the next part, spirit part, I managed to do a few recordings last week. I had a few requests via my new website to do some messages for the universe, and the feedback I got was absolutely lovely, and it is validation, here's my ego bit, about how the words I do share have some sort of purpose. So I'm back into the messenger service. I stepped away for a little while because I had other factors going on, but I really do love the knowing that the words that I share, they're not my words, they just flow through me, do actually have a positive effect on the person who's actually requested those words. So I did put up a general message yesterday. If you saw on the Facebook page, I provided 3 choices for you. So we had the dog, a little Buddha, and also a sea turtle, and they were just the little figurines that were on my little art desk behind me here. So I grabbed them, and as I was shuffling this deck, this is the John Holland Psychic Tarot cards, 3 cards flew out of the pack and landed on my keyboard, and I thought, well, that's it. And they were the cards that I was going to be using. And I turned them over and I thought, ooh, what an unusual collection of cards. So anyway, I shuffled those 3 cards. I didn't know which order they were going to appear. And it was only when I turned them over after I uploaded the image that I got to see, you know, who was drawn to which card. So let's start with the dog card. Oh, and before I get into my interpretation, I'm not looking at the handbook. So if you've got this deck at home and you're listening to this and you go, well, hang on, Marjolyn, that's not what that card means. I'm going with my intuition, and I'm just going with the words that flow with me right now. I could find the same cards next week and have a completely different interpretation of them. It's just what I feel they mean today. So, and I've also got some numbers, some angel numbers that apply to your choice, and I'll leave them in the description below, links so that you can read what they mean and how they connect with your choice. And those numbers again were just gleaned on things around me. I had some numbers here on a page. I took some of those. I had some numbers here sitting on the side, and I also looked at the time. And so that's how those numbers came to be. So let's see how they fit. But here we go, the dog card. If you were drawn to the dog card, it was the card that came out was intuition. So I feel that your spirit guide, your higher self, is guiding you to be more open to listening to your intuition, because currently you may be dismissing it or not actually have the awareness that you are being guided. So take note. Are you seeing certain numbers? Are you seeing the same phrase over and over again? Did someone mention someone's name that you were thinking about only just recently? You know, that is your intuition giving you some sort of guidance. So I feel that, yes, you're being asked to open up and be consciously aware that you do have this beautiful internal compass that is there to guide you. And too often we dismiss it for whatever reason. That's not a judgment. It just is, well, based on my own experience, it is what it is. So open up. Be on the lookout for signs or signals. Trust that gut feeling. If something doesn't feel right, it generally isn't. So use that for the coming week and see how things unfold for you. Okay, so if you were drawn to the Buddha, we were gifted this card, the Power card. So, and what I'm feeling this card means at the moment is that some of you may be giving your power away to another person. You may be allowing someone to make decisions for you, or you don't trust your own decision making. So I think this card is a reminder for you to trust, a bit like the intuition card, that what you're thinking is actually correct, and that you have the personal power to steer the course of your life. So please don't give it to somebody else. Don't ask for somebody else's opinion on what you should do, because that will just cause more confusion. If you're not sure, sit down and meditate. And something that I said to my daughter very early on, if there's doubt, don't make a decision, because it's not clear. It's not quite firm. Wait until you feel that wild horses couldn't drag you away from that course. Then it's time to move forward. So doubt is don't. So doubt is our stopper as well. So always ask for clarity, but you know, step into your power. You have it. Trust yourself, back yourself, because we are powerful beings. We have more potential than we currently give ourselves credit for. So that's what I feel that card is guiding you to do. Step into your own personal power and start being that magical human being that we were born to be. Now, here is the interesting one, the sea turtle. And at first I didn't know how to share what I thought this card actually means. But now I think I have some clarity on it. Because so many of you were drawn to the turtle, and this is the trapped in fear. But what I think this card actually represents is, because so many of you did select it, is that we as a consciousness are still entrapped in the fear. And I think that's to a greater extent all the media and all the other things that we see in newspapers, on the television, you know, internet. There's a lot of fear around, and I feel that if you were actually drawn to this turtle card, there is also some personal elements of fear that, you know, you're not actually allowing yourself to be a bit like the power card, the true person, that you're allowing fear to inhibit your judgment, so to speak. You're letting fear dictate some of the outcomes or some of the choices. And I feel that the underlying fear that a lot of people, including myself, and I've said this before, I'll say it again, it's the worthiness. It's that feeling that we might not be good enough, or we don't have enough knowledge to do what we really truly want to embrace. So I'm thinking this week, try something different. Surprise yourself. Don't let fear stop you from taking that action. Just have a go. Baby steps are okay. It's just doing something. And maybe you could, instead of driving the same way that you do to work or to school or whatever, try a different route. See if you can see something different that you hadn't seen before. You know, if you usually go to bed at a certain time like I do, try a different time. Just mix it up a little bit, just to see if that has an impact on the way that you feel, and therefore releasing some of this entrapment. And you know, the vision that I saw yesterday was an image that I've seen on social media before. It's like a butterfly, and there's a rock, and there's this piece of string tied around this little butterfly, and it's preventing it from actually flying. And that's what I feel that this fear card is actually representing. So remember to check out the links for the angel numbers that are attached to those cards. I would really love to hear your feedback as to how this message connects with you. Maybe two of them do, maybe they don't. But remember, you would only be hearing this if you were guided to this recording. Now, the art element. What have I been up to on the creative side? Well, I've got a little bit of a fascination with turtles at the moment, so I had a go at trying to paint a turtle. You know, like anything, there's always room for improvement, and it only comes through doing and practice and commitment. So that was my turtle, and then I had a go at urban sketching, which is last weekend. I went into Fremantle, as I said, and I took a picture, and that was just an interpretation of a beautiful building that I saw. And here's another one. I'm just practicing with watercolors, and I'm currently working on filling out that mandala. So that's what I'm doing on the creative side. I've got myself all set up today. I'm going to try and do some water lilies with watercolors, just to see how that goes. Now, what I have for you, I have a free gift again. It's free plus shipping, and this week it is a little infinity necklace. It's a circle of life, and there's a beautiful little inscription inside the pendant. So if you would like to get that for yourself, or possibly for a friend as a gift, just click on the homepage of the website and you'll see it there. This week's free gift. Love to pass one on to you. Okay, so thank you very much everybody for tuning in, and I will share another message next week. Don't know what it will be, but anyway, let's see where I'm guided. Ciao for now. Bye.